Hi, everybody. Welcome to Inside Scoop. Oh, I put the wrong thing. Steph
I
told me.
told you didn't hear me.
No, is that what it was? Oh, I know why. Because I was having technical difficulties. Still am. Okay, here we are. That is something I will be known forever for, never getting it right the first time. Anyway, hello. Welcome to Fridays with Sue and Steph. Our topic today is it's a funny one because it's like the things we say to our kids that get a reaction every time, and yet we still say them. So I'm going to start with, this is how one of my kids put it to me. I didn't ask them a particular question that someone had asked me to ask.
Okay.
And we decided, like, okay, we won't ask the question. We'll wait to see if he brings it up.
Okay.
So afterwards, when it came up, I said, oh, they had told me to ask you. And that person said, well, why didn't you ask me? And I said, because you hate when I ask you questions. And the response was, no, I hate when you interrogate me. Anyway, you know how we're not supposed to, like, when they get off the bus and walk into the house, we're not supposed to go like, so how was lunch? Who'd you sit with? How did you go? Blah, blah. I can't help myself, I guess.
Okay. But I want to say something in defense of all moms out there is what I'm going to say.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah. What my kids define as an interrogation is literally a question.
Okay, but this kid was saying it's not a question. It's multiple questions. And I know he's right. So I am going to say that your kids might be like asking a question at the wrong time or whatever, may put them off. But I interview people for a living. Like I do.
Yes.
And so like my brain is literally saying, stop. Don't ask the next question. Just stop. And you know, the thing is, I get an F. I don't know what to say about it. I get an F. Like, and I mean, some kids I work much harder at it than others.
Yeah.
The way they react. Like if the reaction is, I really don't ever want to talk to you again, I'm going to work really hard on not pissing that kid off. But like I have some, the reaction is gentler. The reaction is like, okay, that was one too many. And then I'll retreat.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I wonder if it's universal. Do you think it's universal?
Well, I guess that's what I was getting at. Like, I think there is this idea of like, interrogation.
Well, your threshold is quicker than mine in my family. Like I can definitely ask a question, but it might not be 4.
Like yeah. It depends on the child, depends on the time, right? Depends on the topic. I mean, so it's not universally true. But what I would say is in our house, it fits into the category of like, oh, you always, or you never, or you. So like where I'm like, really? That's an interrogation? I guess my definition would be quite different. Is all I'm suggesting.
Yeah, it's true though that the only thing that really matters is the eyes of the beholder. Like
true.
Jerry says universal with kids and also like adult children. I'm guessing what Jerry thinks.
That's a good one.
Thank you, Jerry. We're so happy to see you here. I got to meet Jerry in real life. Stephanie already knew him, but I got to meet Jerry. It was so much fun. So universal with kids and adults.
So true. Okay, here's the one. So I have a bunch, but here's the one that could push anyone in the household right over the edge because there is so much wrapped up in it, and they have to get out. They know to get out of the warpath, and I'm gonna own this one, okay? Because I also know what it is followed by. So they see me doing something, and I either have like a large garbage bag in my hand, cleaning stuff, and I'm in the zone. And like I hear somebody approaching me. What are you doing? Or I run through a room and I say, just throwing stuff out. Those 4 words. And they know that is, no one is safe because it doesn't happen often. But when it happens, it's not pretty. It's kind of like nesting. Like when I was, so there's probably something that triggers I'm either stressed or I feel like I want to have control over something. But those 4 words, just throwing stuff out, everyone should take cover. Like I even know that.
Yeah.
Because it's about to unleash a whole lot of stuff.
I would like to do that, but I don't do that. That would be a huge deal in my house. I have a hoarder husband. So occasionally the bobbleheads to me look like the 20 seasons we've been Cavs season ticket holders. It feels like maybe we don't need all of them, but I'm so wrong. Because we need all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I can't do it in my own space where I share with my husband, and also like my kids' bedrooms are upstairs and our bedroom is downstairs. I never ever see their stuff. I just never go.
Yeah.
So it works. They're really, the advantage is that I don't get irritated by their stuff and I don't throw their stuff away.
Yes. And like I said, mine is usually I'm in the mode. I'm not about to do their stuff. I'm doing stuff that's just been bothering me, but they know when I'm in that mode.
Collect your belongings.
It's like if you give a mouse a cookie, it could head that direction.
Yeah, they're right. You know what they're doing? They're grabbing like a laundry basket and they're sweeping off all their stuff and shoving it in their room and locking the door. Like
closing the door, because if I can't see it, it doesn't bother me. It's totally true.
Okay, so there you go. So one of the ones in my family is like totally, maybe everything is based on our childhood, but my mother was very, very interested in my friendships, and it was like a little overpowering. And so, of course, I have kids who say to me, "Why don't you remember my friends' names?" Because I worked hard not to be that. So you overcorrect for the things that bothered you. But I do have to be really mindful of why am I asking, because sometimes I'm just being nosy. Like sometimes I'm curious and sometimes I'm nosy, and the nosy questions are never received well.
It's so true.
I sometimes have to live with not knowing the end of the story, for example, when something didn't go well, or, I haven't heard a name in a while and maybe something went on. I have to be okay not knowing that, even though, of course, I'm dying to know. But if the test for me, which is a brand new test that I've been using and it works really well, why am I asking? Why do I want to know the information?
Yeah, it's a good one.
And if it's because I'm being nosy, it's so never hidden. Like they never hear it differently than I meant it. Even if I don't recognize, like even if I have not articulated to myself that this is a nosy question, they know it.
It's so true. It's so true. Okay, that's a good one. Okay.
I recommend it if you are nosy, which I imagine most of us are about our kids. Like I don't like when they tell me the things they did in high school that I didn't know about. That one I
could live without that. Yeah.
But in general, I do love to know about them. And, I love when someone else tells me something about my kid that they didn't share. And it's just, I love all that. Yeah. But they see through it. They know the motive, even if I don't.
Oh, it's also true. Okay, here's one. So this fits into I'll put it in the nagging category, right? So like, I know that one of their grandparents has been trying to get in touch with them and like, or something. So the phrase is, "Did you call grandma?" But the phrase really could be like, I had to condense it, but it really could be like, "Did you follow up with that? Or did you send a thank you to?" Right. So
did you do the nice thing? Did you do
the nice thing? That's it. That's exactly it. Or what I'll call even the right thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The right thing.
Yeah. So yes, I just called it, "Did you call grandma?" But it could be a lot of things. It's a catch-all.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm also a reaction to that from childhood of being asked those questions over and over again. Totally. So I'd stay away from those questions. I'm terrible at so many other things, but I stay away from that particular question because I know what it means. It means that it's just do the right thing. Do the
bleeping right thing. Yeah. Right. Like
it is that thing. All right. What else is there? I had another one and it just flew out of my head. I'm sure if I asked my kids, the list is so long.
Oh my God. I got a few. I was talking to friends earlier and I told them the topic. So these are not mine, but I think they're share worthy.
Sure. Go for it.
Okay. One is, did you kiss her?
Oh, never asked that.
I've never asked that either. Okay. Yeah. How'd your test go?
Ask that. Yeah.
Okay. Here's a good one. This is more for the college kids. How's the roommate situation?
Oh, that made people mad? So no one got mad in my house.
Yeah, some got mad. My friend was just telling me the story that he said, "You know how the roommate situation is. Like, stop asking me." I thought it was a really good one, right?
Yeah.
She really wants to say,
that for that kid, that might feel nosy, right? Like it
Exactly.
might not, the test might have eliminated that question.
It's true. And also, she's hoping it's getting better.
Yeah.
And he's kind of living with it. And so he's like,
So
you know
there's
how it's going.
pressure. There's pressure to
That's
make
right.
mom happy that it's getting better.
That's right. What was the other one? How'd you did you kiss her? Wait, there was another one. Did you use protection?
Wow. Really? Never gone there.
I have said, I hope you're being safe.
Oh,
That's
well,
fine. Same thing.
Yeah, but like,
isn't that the same thing?
It's a little less squirmy for a kid, and a little vague also. Like, what exactly?
Oh,
do
but
you
come on, they know.
Well, you know,
Contextually, it's in the context of that
yeah, but
conversation.
you could be meaning a condom, birth
I could.
control, consent, like so many things that could go into are you being safe? Because I have used the be smart.
I thought you were going to say protection. I was going to say, I'm happy to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, that too. But I have said to a kid, I expect everyone to be safe. I use these vague terms, and I knew that vague was on purpose.
Yeah.
Like it's a little like when you say to somebody, "Did you use a condom?" That's very specific and probably smart to say, right?
Yes.
Not
Yes.
maybe not about a date, but maybe just generally. I hope that you're always that kind of thing. But
Yes.
the vaguer we get, the less uncomfortable it is, which is why it kind of works great.
It's true. It's true. Okay, so here's my other one that is sort of related to the like running around the house cuckoo, and that has implications for everybody. Is these 4 words: we're having company tomorrow.
And wait, do they don't like company?
So I was just gonna say, I don't want anyone. They like company. They don't like what comes with company. Because normally I'm not so particular about the house. I really am not. We've had this conversation. Like I could turn the camera around right now. You'd see, like I go to people's houses who's like, there's nothing on the counter. Even when I have company, I still have stuff on the counter. Like where I'm like, oh my God, like this is how people live. Like we do not live like that at all. Okay. But when we have company, it does mean I am picking up and maybe taking the garbage out and at least trying to give some semblance of normal. And it also means there's going to be more dishes. And as you know, the kids do the dishes here. So they're like, because they know that the cleanup that comes with like same with the holidays. Like they're like, and they'll just like roll their eyes and they're like, so it's not the company, it's everything that comes before and after. They don't mind the company.
That's good. That's nice. In my house, it's the company.
That's funny, right? That's funny.
Yeah. Like almost 6 out of 7. 2 of them are a little flexible depending on who's coming. But like a lot of like, I'm coming home this weekend. I don't want any company. A lot of that.
Yeah.
And like when
I can respect that.
Well, you have a lot of company, so that's funny. When my son was home for the summer and things would happen, like I thought he was away that weekend, so I would have like a lot of people over, something like that, and it didn't always match. And he just couldn't believe it, the insult of it.
Yes. It's a funny topic. Because, and I think I like your comment that I had not thought about, which is the idea of it going back to childhood. And I hadn't made that leap. So now I'm like running it through that lens, things that like, it's just funny. It's a whole, to me, I have to think, is that the same conversation for me? The same things. I'm trying to think what my parents used to say that would have made me crazy.
I mean, I when I would come home, there was like an invite all the people you called aunt and uncle, like all the friends who were elevated status to aunt and uncle. And I used to say, just like my kids, if I come home, I don't want you having them all over, like parading my family around like like we'd have to sit I grew up in a small house and one small shared area. And I said the same exact thing, like, no, we're not coming if you're going to do that. So payback.
So nothing changes. It's all the same. We just keep replaying the same things.
Yes and no. Like, I think the hardest part is like knowing you don't want to do something, but not overcorrecting for it. Yeah. Because that's so much easier to do, like to be an all or nothing. Like they always did this. So I will do this. but then we have new subjects in our study who
Yeah.
might not be bothered by the same things. Like, one of my kids is thrilled for me to clean their space when we go to visit, and one is like, don't touch anything. But then is kind of like, but you didn't clean anything here? So everyone has to be an individual given what they need. There's not a collective what I do for my kids, which would be so much easier.
It's true. I stand by my comment that I have made before, which is it's like running a science. I feel like it's a science experiment. I've got these 3 subjects. I should have more controls, no controls, all these variables. It's like, trying to figure out this one, that one. But we're all human. Like we all have things that push our buttons, right? They're all different.
All right, everybody. And, Jerry, as always, thank you for joining us.
Have a great weekend all.
Thanks for coming to Fridays with Sue and Steph. And are we seeing them next week?
I think so.
Okay, great. We're going to see you next week. Take care. Have a good week.
Bye, guys.